All right, we're at Crocobeach Beach Club, probably one of the more famous ones here. There's one south of here, which we'll see if we can walk to or not. Kind of a little bubble within Praia the Futuro. It's, I think at some point, I don't know, I thought you had to kind of pay to get in. We've got lockers here. We'll see if they let the vendors pass or not. I'm not sure. I'm really anxious to see the beach. I'm not sure what the protocol is here. I kind of thought you paid at the door to get in or something, but I guess not. So we're gonna explore a little bit and see what this place is all about. This place is huge. It just keeps going and going and going. They've got like 2 different pools, lockers, restrooms, of course, multiple places to eat, ice cream everywhere. Yeah, I'm not sure what the protocol is. I mean, I don't think anyone can just jump off the street and just run into the pool or whatever. We're going to have to find out how that works, but this place is pretty cool. This place is big. It seats a lot of people. Here's beach vendors. Doesn't take them long to get here, does it? Nossa, nossa. That's some surf. That's some serious surf. Kind of towards the northern end of Praia do Futuro. This goes on, I think, about 20 kilometers that way or so, for a few miles. Drove past some interesting places on the way here. Man, that's a surf. And no barrier out there. There's no reef to slow that down, but that's a shot. Bombeiros, guarda-vidas. Lifeguards. A little breezy, but it's not insane where it just ruins your day. We're going to walk down the beach a bit and get some shots before we settle down here, I think. So there actually are a few hotels. You can actually, I probably don't want to walk through this. You can actually stay here. I mean, I guess if all you want to do is kite surf, I think at the beach is fine, but you're so far away from everything else Central has to offer. You'd be taking Ubers all the time. So I guess it just depends on your priorities, where you want to stay. But to me, this would be kind of one-dimensional. Although, you know, taxis and Uber are still very prolific here. It's not like you're isolated, you're just not in a lot of walking distance stuff. So it just depends what you want to do. So the other thing you'll notice is the wind obviously picked up. We're on the windward side. We're quite a bit sheltered from it, staying on the other side as well. But you can see the sand is blowing around. Kind of reminds you a bit of Jerry. Wind's pretty stiff. Your stuff's gonna blow away if you set it down and it's not secured. It's a nice straight stretch of beach though. Alright, I think you can just walk for days and days and days until the end of this beach. It just never runs out. I think we'll turn around, we'll head back to Crocobeach. That's going to be the best pickup point to get back. There's not a big crowd here at all. It's a weekday. Tomorrow will be different. Last night was the party night. Thursdays, for whatever reason, are the party night. So we'll head back to Croco, hang out there for a few hours before we head back. And there seemed to be the busiest place. See some tankers out there already as well. Wide stretch of beach. It's nice not having to check tide charts. Here again, it doesn't matter, so that's a nice thing. Well, that Agua de Coco vendor, he's humping that cart up and down this beach in the sand and wind, the sun, all day. And so 2 reais a coco. Maybe he doubles his profit, so he's like at US, he's making like a quarter per coconut sale. Yeah, I don't see a lot of quarters out here. I mean, obviously it's the low time, but what else has he got to do? That's what pays the bills, I suppose. But you know, can't argue with their work ethic. He's out here doing it. We're kind of at the northern stretch here. If you look in the distance, you can see some of those wind turbines up there. That's kind of his industrial zone. There's some there's a big favela right up against it. Runs all along here as well too. You can see over the dune. But there's not. That's kind of it. It runs out a little bit more there, and that's about the northern extent of it. So we'll head back and find a chair and relax for a few hours. It's about 10 after 11. The place is really picking up now. Should just pick right up until about early evening, 6 or so, and taper off. But yeah, it's really starting to fill up. I got here at a good time to get a good table. You want to be up front. You don't want to be in the end. You don't want to be near where the people are coming in either. But you want a good place to sit and people watch. This seems like a pretty good spot. Pretty cool place. The economics are interesting here. It's kind of like survival of the fittest for capitalism. If the restaurant or the bar or wherever you're sitting at isn't providing the services that you want, someone will. And there's not going to be a vacuum. There's never a vacuum here in terms of services or products. And it runs the gamut of absolutely everything. I'm always impressed. The ingenuity here, just to make money, to make a living. And it's not greed, it's just survival. And yeah. It's fascinating every time. It's slightly different wherever you go, but it's just a different take on the same thing. So what's amazing to me is like each individual little vendor here, she's carrying like a personal credit card reader. So like she is obtaining every single sale possible. It's not just a cash only thing. I'm sure it cost her something, and every transaction does, but she knows to make money, she needs to take all forms of payment. Alright, this surf is rough. Hang on. Back from an okay day at Praia Futuro. Probably could have spent a little more time there, but I've got plenty of time to grab some food and watch sunset way out there on that pier, and it would take me about half an hour to get there. Plus, you're going to be there about a half an hour before it actually sets, otherwise you're not going to get a good spot. So I'll find some food and some drinks and camp out on a good spot, lock it down, and check back for another sunset a little bit. That's it. It's not the, almost scored. I don't know if the first or the last time I see a soccer game on the beach. Alright, we got about 45 minutes. There's some traffic on the bridge, but not a lot of people hanging out down here. That's a good thing. I don't think that tug was here earlier today. Wind turbines are cranking. They're never really going in the morning. It's quite calm in the morning. And don't know if the tide's coming or going, but there's quite a current right there. Yeah, homeless streets. I've seen San Luis and Salvador were numbers 1 and 2 for homeless. I've seen probably more here, which San Luis, that makes sense, because San Luis is like number 19, 20 in terms of population. Florida's a big city, so expect to see some. It's on par with Salvador for sure, although San Luis seemed to have a disproportionate amount. But there's been quite a bit here, sadly. I found my camping spot. I'm just going to camp it hard on that budget. This is my spot. It's not too shabby. This will be sunset number 2 in front of some water.
São viagens sem morros ou pastagens, só música e fumaça, servindo de argamassa pra construções sentimentais, pra ver o sol.
Very cool. I'm just hoping we don't get caught in a brief rain shower. Clouds rolled in pretty quick. It was clear, so let's see if we can make it back in time. All right, well, final night here at Fortaleza. Final night here, sadly, more sadly, in Brazil for this year anyway. Interesting town. I need to do a compilation video of places I've been, kind of do pros and cons, because everything's a mixed bag. I think the closest, it's still tough to beat. Still one of my favorite places is João Pessoa, no question about it. Praia de Pipa, no question about it. Jacumã, no question about it. This was a really interesting mix of things, and the size and the scale is impressive as well too. So I work on a compilation video. That's going to take a lot of time. But anyway, last night here we're going to grab some food at the kiosk, and tomorrow's plan is going to be actually hang out at this beach, because I haven't hung out at the local beach. They say don't swim in there, but whatever. I don't have that many open wounds. I'll be okay. One of the good things that comes to mind is that the airport here is really close. It's like 20 kilometers away, unlike some other places, Natal, which is like an hour away out in the middle of nowhere. So the airport is really nice because it's not going to take long to get there. So that's definitely a plus in that column for Fortaleza. All right, back in the kiosk district. You can tell when we're getting close to where a few more hotels are, because the Água de Coco price jumps from 2 reais down to the west. Starting about here, it's 250. So there's some microeconomics going on here, at least in terms of Água de Coco price and sustainability. Alright, we're going to call it a night here, final night here, sadly, in Fortaleza, as things keep going down there. I had a good time at that kiosk. Those guys are pretty slack, actually. Apparently they only work evenings, they don't work mornings, but I'll probably head there for tomorrow morning. That's if their umbrellas are up, because they're pretty chillax. I mean, they let the vendors kind of run roughshod over them and kind of set up and hang out or whatever, so we'll see. But they're good